It's the Barroom Therapy, and I am Oscar, your bartender. Now, sometimes we come across people that might be different. Some say misfits, some say eccentric, some say they are crazy. Others can't really understand them. But for one reason or another, there's a system to their madness. And I have such a person with me today. His name is DENRELE EDUN. And there are not enough adjectives to describe this man. But we're going to find out his story from the horse's mouth on Barroom Therapy after this. I took out the life insurance when I found out my guest was coming here. For his sake, because he's the kind of guy that you're never really sure what's going to happen next. DENRELE, the very calm and gentle.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Give me
Great
positive.
to have you in the bar.
Huh.
I have a feeling I'm the one that will need the therapy after this.
I suppose so, because I was about to start with find 3 hobbies, as they say. One to keep you in shape, one to make you money, and one to keep you creative. So, is this bartending doing all 3 for you?
Yes, this is a means to an end.
Okay.
But first things first. I'm going to pour you this. I saved this bottle specially for you.
Pour.
Some people don't know that you actually, once in a while,
I don't drink and I don't
adventurous.
smoke.
Now, I have like a zillion questions. But first, cheers to you.
Okay. To me, coming for therapy, or we're cheering to the fact that you might be needing this therapy too.
I think I might be needing this therapy
Hallelujah
after.
to that. Please, I can drink now?
Yes, you
But I
can
still
drink.
don't drink.
But you can drink this.
Okay. And I still can't drive and I can't swim and I don't smoke.
After this drink, you might not need driving, so I think you're safe. You're good.
Yeah.
DENRELE,
Sir.
reporting for duty.
Guilty as charged.
Now, I'm going to hit the nail on the head, a very big head.
Okay. Hair, more like.
There's always this question about sexuality.
Of course.
Is DENRELE a guy? Is he a girl? Does he like boys? Does he like girls?
Okay.
But let's talk on sexuality first. People see you and they think of you in a certain way.
Of course.
Now, I know you're no stranger to controversies, but for the record, what's your stand on this?
Oof, this drink is on fire. Somebody call 911. Well, I think over time, I've had to always deal with this particular subject matter, if I can put it that way. And I've always had to answer questions of, so are you heterosexual? Are you homosexual? Are you bisexual? Are you metrosexual? Are you asexual? Are you solosexual? Are you sexual? Or are you ambisexual, if there's a word like that? And I've always had to answer that back to back and every single time. And at a point, and I think this actually started off from the time when I got into Unilag. And I gained admission into Unilag in 1998. And every time I walked into school, the first question people would ask me was just weird. Sorry, excuse me. And then you think it's something serious. I'll go, yes, are you a boy or a girl? But you won't get me. And then I used to wear a lot of baggy shirts and baggy jeans because I was very conscious of my frame. I felt like I was very tiny and it looked sickly. I felt I was malnourished and I came across as,
So you wanted to beef it up?
So I needed to just wear those clothes. And then I was scared of flaunting my hair. So I used to wear a cap. I wear a hairnet overnight and then, wear a cap to suppress my hair.
Wow.
Yeah.
By the way, this is all your hair.
All mine. No, the food I eat goes to my hair. Babe. So you see, at that point, I didn't know that, it was going to escalate into the, sexuality phase. I didn't know it was going to get it. I just thought, they were asking because of maybe physical characteristics. So then I started joking around with it by saying, do you want to check? Oh yeah, come and check. The ones that are bold enough to say, let's see. If they ask me, are you a boy or a girl? And no, when I say, do you want to check? They will run. Some will run. No. But the boy will say, let me see. I want to see the boy's quarter. What's there? So I just thought it would end that way. But as time went on, I got into a theater group and then, I started modeling. Then I think it was getting into the fashion world that I now got very confronted with that. Not necessarily, I wouldn't use it as a tag, But then it now just came across as, okay, you're very self-expressive, you're flamboyant, you're overboard in your dressing, come here. Do you swing from the back door? Or what, you know, and then because again, I was in modeling, so, you know, it was just so easy to, you know, just attach both and say, okay, this is how you roll. And then by the time I got into presenting, I now had to deal with it even on a larger scale. Because then, you know, I would always say that our generation transitioned into social media. You know, when we started, there was no social media now. So now, it was now strange to have faceless people saying these things to me. How come? I was now used to being confronted on the streets, which was fine, you know. And then I could be standing at the bus stop and then people would drive past and shout, useless gay, and then they'll drive off and I'll be like, Some even called me lesbian safe.
But was it an aggressive?
It was very aggressive. It was aggressive.
Was there a point where you were like, okay, I think my life is in danger, kind of?
Before. Now Nigeria within, especially Lagos. I didn't know how to take it. I didn't know if it was some sort of attack, if it was confrontational, or if it was just upfront, I'm saying it to you, what do you want to do? Because that's how we roll here. Kilo Feshi, what do you want to do? Who do you want to call? That sort of thing. As opposed to now that we have social media and then you have faceless identities saying all sorts of you. So, you know, when people say, I don't like what people are saying to me on social media, try my own for size, where people will park on the road and point. Or bosses will stop, conductors say, no, this is my favorite part. Homosexual. I was like, what? You know, so
the fact that the conductor even knows that word is baffling.
His own pronunciation, homosexual. I say, yeah, you know. But, you know, away from that, I've always, like I said, I've always had to not necessarily answer this question because I feel it's a rhetorical question. I shouldn't answer it. Why am I answering it? So I now, you know, crafted a very, I wouldn't call it smart, just a very useless answer for my DENRELE vocab. And then they'll say, so are you gay? Are you straight? And I say, I'm a sexual outlaw. My sexuality is fluid. What is that? Go and figure it out. I've given you an answer. If you get what I mean. So now that you're not asking me this one, how do I now beat all this from my old answer? How do I remix it now? What remix will I give you now?
No, I mean, people are watching and they always want to know.
Okay.
As a barman, I meet different types of people, shapes and sizes, personalities. So I'm not really taken aback. But I think what is interesting about you is from your Kiddies Vision 101 days, you have evolved, you've embraced yourself, but more importantly, you did it at a time when it wasn't fashionable. How did you get to that point where you were confident about who you were? You didn't jump off a bridge, you didn't recoil and become embarrassed. You actually just took it on. What caused that for you?
I think it has to deal with inner strength at the end of the day, because I had all those moments where I had to recoil, where I wanted to not necessarily jump over Third Mainland Bridge, but we've all had suicidal thoughts at one point in our lives. And I remember my late friend, God bless her soul, Goldie, when we used to, you know, play back those moments and we say, but you know, at the point I wanted to commit suicide, or when I was on flights back then, I'll say, could this plane just crash so that I would just end this charade I call it life, because I just felt it was just too much for someone of my I wouldn't even use the word age safe. For someone of my small but mighty like that stature to just be handling all of that drama. So there were points in my life where I was tired, and I just said, you know what? I think I just need to just walk around like a normal human being, get a 9 to 5, and just, you know, disappear somehow, somewhat. But then again, it struck me, okay, all these people that are on your case, safe, you're not stepping on anyone's toes, you're not getting in anyone's way, you're not stealing anyone's job. What's their problem? They acknowledge that you exist. It's their wala. And truth be told, I don't know, forgive my French, you can't unfuck what's been fucked. So yes, I found myself in a very fucked up situation. I couldn't unfuck it. I said, you know what? I will now fuck it over. Forgive my French, pardon me, sorry, you can bleep all those things. So yes, and it just came down to inner strength. It also came down to the fact that it wasn't like I was the only one in the industry who was maybe very, you know, outlandish and very expressive. But also it came down to the fact that there was an originality attached to it. I didn't have a TV back home, so I never knew who Charlie Boy was. Along the line, I got to dance for his wife. That was when I met him. And when I met Charlie Boy, the first time I went to their house in Bagada, when I saw him, I was slightly taken aback. I said, who is this? Orishabu Mishongo. Who is, you know, because with the piercings. And then he saw me and he said to me, I wish I was your age when I started out. That was the best compliment I'd ever received. I was like, This man knows me. Because I knew of the candid camera show back, back in the day, where we go to someone's house on a Sunday to eat Sunday rice if there's no food in my house, and then we just get to watch the Charlie Boy show. So I just always caught up with the candid camera, but I did not know who he was. So when I saw him, I was taken aback by all that, explosive expression. And then when he said that to me, I was like, wow. I said, okay, this man can say this to me, then go on sound. But then I failed to realize that this was a bros that was well, put together, had motto, had house. I did not have house, I did not have car.
Let me pause you there. We'll be back with DENRELE, the eccentric misfit, who has to defend himself all the time. But his story is remarkable, and you'll find out why after this. Still the barroom therapy, and quite an insightful session it has been. Really, there's some defining moments in everyone's lives, and you have the highs, you have the lows. What's been the high point of your life? That moment that you're like, I would relive that moment over and over and over again.
Let me make it as recent as possible and as fast as possible. This happened like early last year, and I got a call from CNN. I'm sorry, I know it might sound like bragging rights aloud. And then they said, oh, they wanted to do a special feature on me, and I thought, who is playing this prank? CNN called CNN. Where do you know me from? So I just, I didn't take the call seriously. And then that was the period that my dad was alone in the house, and then he fell, had a very nasty fall, and he smashed his entire hip bone and femur and all that stuff. And we didn't think it was serious because he just kept assuring us, oh, he's fine, he's fine. I brought a physiotherapist to the house. Then when we now had to go and do like a scan, we now saw that the entire pelvic, that whole bone, the hip bone, was shattered. I said, ha! And then they now gave me the surgery fee. I now shouted again, ha! Because this was January 2017. You understand? We just got out of the Christmas and the New Year matter. I was like, ha! And then CNN was now calling me. I said, I beg you. I'm looking for money for surgery. What do you want? And then, there was an African-American producer who was attached to. And then she came to where I was. She was on my case. I was like, look, you will not understand what is wrong with me right now. I don't need this interview, please. And she was just on and on. She got everyone's number in my house. She was calling, I need to do this. I have orders from. So I now had to meet with her. I said, madam, who asked you to interview me? She said, well, we researched you online and they find you worthy to be on African Voice. I was like, why? What did I do? What am I? Said, stop asking questions. You better do it. And then she went all, American mode on me. You better do this because I got to get it done. If you don't, I'm going to stop. I said, okay. Oh, I'm ashamed. So I just managed to, it was like a whole day shoot where any morning interview, I was just angry because I was trying to get my dad, into the hospital, and then the bill was outrageous. I'm not kidding. And that got me angry because I got the bill that morning. And I was like, why didn't my dad sit there in one place? I think he also felt it as well that I was also a bit angry,
So was he holding back and trying to make himself look better than?
So I now also felt that pity for him, So, I just made sure he got the best medical attention. So I did the interview. They followed me around. I had to go to a party, go here. I had a mentoring session. I got everything out of it.
And your low point?
Low point. Aside from losing my dear friend Goldie, and I'll tell you why. You see, a lot of people blamed me for Goldie's death. The media was not fair. But again, it's the industry we find ourselves in. So what can I say? Everyone believed I was feeding Goldie drugs. I'm so saddened by the fact that even my growth, I know Goldie would have been part of it. We would have done a lot of things together because I was really concerned about her welfare when she came out of that house, and then she wasn't getting the gigs. And I remembered the last gig I had in Abuja, prior to, her passing on, I said I wanted to bring her along. Now, I've always had my people I used to carry. When they call me for work, I say, hey, but can I bring me? I'm always doing for that charity, Mother Teresa. Can I bring? And then when I mentioned Goldie, they were like, for what? Why would you bring her? That one that disgraced Nigeria. No. I kept pressing. And I'd already told Goldie that, we're going to Abuja for this correct show. And then the guy now slashed my money into half. And I said he was going to pay me, $500,000 for this show.
If you brought Goldie?
No.
Just generally?
Alone. Even because I said I wanted to bring Goldie. He now said, if I bring Goldie, it's not paying now. So I said, okay, slash that $500,000 now. pay 215 to account, pay 215 to mine. So and after that, Goldie, they want to pay you. She was like, really? That was like the first gig.
Wow.
Well, if she's listening right now, now she knows.
And she didn't know.
She didn't know. I couldn't tell her because I didn't want to, make her feel bad. So we slashed that money. The guy slashed. Guy said, well, you are even doing for that charity. Yeah, it's your business. So they slashed the money. She was so excited about it. Oh, and then we got to the show. And guess what? We're in the club for 3 hours. They didn't play a song. That's Naija for you. I had to beg the DJ was now playing songs that I featured in the video. He was playing Why Me 10 times. I said, Kemi Konimoko, Why Me Tori Long? Play this anti song. So away from that, I think one of the low moments, when I just think back on how her career would have exploded, because she was on that verge. She had already started doing collabs with African artists. There was a lot coming up, and I also was involved in the mix. So I would just, it just felt like all that hard work just went to waste. But God knows best.
We'll be back with DENRELE. Stick around. Any other moment that you'd want to go back in time and change?
Go back in time to change? Well, I think I learned life. I learned the hard way. I learned a great deal. I think also, one of the reasons why I hold my family dear to heart, especially my sisters, is because they never had that. They're getting good privileges now because we never had it, growing up. Like my last sister, I don't know, my mom always said it to me then that she wasn't supposed to happen. She came at a very wrong time because we had moved from a huge mansion and we're living in an uncompleted building that had no doors or windows. And to eat was headache because I always had to scale the fence, jump to the next compound, uproot their cassava, cassava, now that leaf, uproot it, and we had cassava for burning noon at night. And we did not have a stove, so it was charcoal. And I'll fan this thing. And I was in primary school then. So you see, looking at my sister, because I was born in Hamburg, Germany, I was born with a silver spoon. The silver spoon became bronze, then now disappeared, became wooden. But then I've worked really hard to create it. So that's why I made sure that my sisters had that, So if I could turn back the hands of time, if I could change anything, I just wish that my sisters had it a bit more rosier growing up. Because I've had to live with family, like extended family members. And see, if anybody calls me butter, I will slap. I lived in my uncle's house. I was the errand boy, the cleaner, the butler, the cook, the steward, the washerman, the
hairdresser.
Are you kidding me? I've never, that's why now, I've never cleaned anybody's house as much as I cleaned my uncle's house. I love my uncle, but then their son was in command. So when he comes back from the holidays, all the punishment the seniors used to do to him, he will now come and practice it on me. Oh!
No, that is
life the hard way. Then I now moved to a family house where we're all in a room, where I now had family. Are you kidding me? So I learned, there's a lot I could change, but I guess they've shaped me into the individual that I am today. So yeah.
This question is not a question I ask most of my customers, but I can ask you.
Please ask me.
Your tombstone.
Hey.
What would you want written? In a paragraph, in a short word, if there's one, what is it?
I'm going to look into the camera and say this word. Payback is a and her name is DENRELE. Okay, no, that sounded weird. Maybe we'll just use one of, that Beyonce song, I Was Here. They'll just be playing it in the background. That was what I played for my late friend Goldie. Not other than that, I think it's just about, put it this way, he lived his life and he lived it to the max. Yeah, I'm still living my life, but I'm still living it and living it well.
And you will live it. You will live it very, very well.
Can I trust you with all the things that we've said today?
Yes, you can.
Because I have a knack of spilling out all my secrets to bartenders.
Maybe we should have another round. But for now, this round is on me. You're always welcome. You're always welcome. But I need to let you go. Customers are waiting. Barroom therapy is one of those things that you come across. Another thing you come across is the adage that says you never judge a book by its cover. And the reason is simple. For you to understand and appreciate that book, you need to go through the pages and read each page, each chapter, to get the full story. DENRELE's story is still being written, but so far, it's quite an interesting book. A bestseller, if I might add.
Woo!
But the question is, where is your story right now? And more importantly, how is it going to end? Till next time on Barroom Therapy, I'm Oscar, your bartender. Cheers for now.